Sometimes, because of events that happen in the Bible, events such as that of the widow at Zarephath that gave her last meal to the prophet and she and her house did not lack, or that of Obededom that gave his house so that he could put the ark in it and he and his house were blessed. So when we read some of these stories, sometimes we tend to become transactional with giving to God because we start giving with the intent to receive. And then you discover that when we start giving to God like that and even to others, we do it with a heart of, oh, let me give because I'll get double, or oh, let me give because I'll get more. Newsflash, God is not a money doubler. The problem with this kind of thinking is that when we don't receive, we grow resentful. And this is why we hear people who say, oh, I've served God with my life, He didn't give me a spouse. Or, oh, I've been serving God since and I've been giving. Why am I not rich? All these kind of complaints are from people who have given with the thought that, oh, well, God said I should give and I should receive, so why am I not receiving? The truth is that we should give because we love. That's what John 3:16 said. For God so loved the world that He gave. Even God that gave His only begotten Son. Has everyone in the world still accepted Him now? No. He didn't just say, oh, as far as I've given my Son, I've made the decision to give, so everybody must come to me. No. Not everybody has still accepted Him. And each and every one of us still has the choice to say, oh, okay, I want to follow God, or I don't want to follow God. Let's give because we love, or because we wish to help out, not just because we receive in return. Now, I went to a gathering recently and they were saying, speak to your offering, let your offering take away your suffering, speak to your offering and say, oh, this offering will bring me this, to bring me this, to bring me that. And I just thought in my mind, is it this 500 naira that I want to drop in the offering box that will do all this? Now, don't get me wrong, it's not that I don't believe that giving little can bring in prosperity or whatever in your life, but I just felt when I was picking up this money from the house and knowing that I was going to this particular assembly today, I made that decision to pick that money because I wanted to worship. I just wanted to worship in God's presence, and I didn't want to come to God's presence in a place where He's being worshipped empty. So I just said, well, God, I know this 500 naira is small, it is really small, but I brought it because I didn't want to come to where you are being worshipped empty. So kindly accept it just as it is. That was the simple thought of my heart. Another thing is that your giving might actually bring you a blessing, but the blessing might not come in the way you want it. And this is why you hear people making all sorts of complaints. Probably they've given 500 naira and they're expecting 500 million. And then when the 500 million doesn't come, they feel, oh, God has abandoned them, or God is not true to His word, give and it shall be given to you. Meanwhile, their reward came in a much different way. Probably the reward came in form of a relationship that will be of help to you in the future, or a sort of networking or connection thing with someone somewhere who knows someone somewhere who will be very valuable in your life. The reward might have come in the form of a very valuable friendship. The reward might have come in an entirely different way that is non-financial. You might have been serving God for so long and God blesses you with a very good spouse, or blesses you with a very good job, with position, with fame that you will still end up using for His glory. It must not be that every act of giving must be responded to by God with financial rewards. Now, at the risk of sounding like an academic write-up, let me just say now, recommendations. What do I recommend? First of all, we all need to pray that our hearts will be right with God. Is your heart right with God? Is your heart right with God? Are you giving with the wrong motives, or are you giving with the right motive? Are you giving because of love, or are you giving because of selfish interest, in quotes, because you just want God to double your money, double your service, or you just want God to give you a good husband because you've served for so long? You just want God to give you a good wife because you've served for so long? You just want God to do this for you, give you admission because you've contributed to the building of the church? Like, let's stop being transactional with God and transactional with our love for God and our acts of giving. Let's give out of love and give because we want to help others and make the world a better place.